Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craftery. Today we are going to be doing something with all of these. Doesn't that look fun? Stay tuned. So I have this lovely box full of all these little bits and pieces. Now I'm lucky enough to have this. This is a 5/8 inch circle punch. I have this little heart one. Actually belongs to my sister. Her initials on there. I've got one that cuts out just a little square. I have no idea who puts out these. They're just ones that I've had forever. And then I've got these two. This is kind of like a little mini postage stamp. And this one is a little flower. These are Stampin' Up! Products, these ones. So those are the perfect size for what I do. And we are making paper buttons. This container is really hard to open. Show you a few that I've made. You can use any paper. Cardstock does work better because the punches work better in cardstock. And then there's a little square one. There's the little flower one. And the little postage stamp one. And I think I used the one heart one that I made. But that's what we have. Easy to make. I use this. It's a Martha Stewart punch. And it's got just a tiny little hole. I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. But you could actually poke a hole with an awl or something in these. Which, let's try that in these. Where's my awl? I use this here thing. It's a little bit sharper than an awl, but it's really strong. Let's get started. So we need, actually, let's try that one. I want to try that one. I have one pattern paper, and I'm going to use two that I cut out of a file folder. I had tons and tons of little pieces of file folder, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches or something. So I sat the other day and I punched all these out. But that's what I need per button. A pattern paper and 2 of the file folders. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this. And glue the 2 pieces of file folder together. Now I do my best to keep them lined up. I'm using my art glitter glue. Now I'm going to glue the pattern piece on the top. Now between the 3 layers of cardstock, because basically all this is cardstock, it makes it really strong. Now normally I would do this in stages, so I'd do all the hearts, I'd do all the things. So let's do one of the little postage stamps. Now this paper here is kind of shiny, so let's try that. That way it gives that one a little bit of time to dry before I punch the holes in it. Now the square ones would be easy to do just by cutting out the same size of squares. The other ones would be a little bit harder because you kind of need them to match up. However, I could take that little flower and I could easily put that on top to make a little button with a couple different dimensions. Or putting a little flower on top of the circle would also look really, really nice. But for the moment, let's just do your basic ones. And then this on the top. I really like, I've started using these more and more because I like that they don't add bulk. Now, if they don't line up perfectly, yeah, that's okay. Let's do a circle one. Again, it's easy to pick out the pattern pieces and the file folder just because of the color. So when they're all mixed together in my box like that, this is a really nice glitter paper. It's very smooth compared to most glitter papers I've seen. And actually at one of the scrapbooks retreats, a lady had a whole bunch of scraps that she was giving away. So I grabbed them and this paper happened to be in them. Now we are going to ink the edges. So you could use any cardstock for the back. I just had so many little pieces of file folders that's why I used that. And it's a great way to use it up. So I'm just going to ink the edge, and that helps it makes it all look the same. Like if you look at I don't know if you can see that or not, but the blue really stands out, which is okay. But when you ink it, it tends to make it all blend together a little more. But very easy project, and this is something, you know, I'll do these while I'm sitting and watching YouTube or something in the evenings, and I'll just work away at them till I get them all done. Now you can just use this right away and just punch 2 holes through. You can make a template, depends on how even you want them. I tend to like them fairly even, so I'm going to try and put in 2 holes. There's probably about 1/8 of an inch between those holes. Now you're not getting, or the marks. I doubt that you're going to see the marks that I made. Now I'm just going to use this and punch. And if the holes aren't right in the middle, then that's okay. But there is our little button. The back is just plain, of course, because now you could do more layers if you wanted one really, really thick. Let's try using this. I haven't used this actually to put my holes in, but that's going to work just fine. You only need enough to put your needle through. Actually, I think this actually works better. But there is that one. Let's put the holes in the heart. Let's and there is that. So there is the 3 of those. Let's see if we've got something we can put a button on too. I don't have nothing. Here, let's use this here. We got this little piece of paper. I can use that on something, so I'm just going to go through my one hole. With the little poker thing, it might be a little harder to get your needle through a couple of times. And a little harder to get your needle from the back to the front. There we go. Normally I would probably glue this down a little bit as well. Let's just tie a knot in there. Let's see what it looks like. Let's do 3 knots. Turn that off. I like having my knot in the front because I like leaving those little tabs. It gives it that little bit extra look. But there we have a button. Now, I know a lot of people make buttons. These punches that I have are the perfect size for doing this. If you want huge buttons, use huge hole punches or punches. I just like them little because I just want them as a little accent. Now one of these, actually right here, I've used a button there that I made. And on that one as well, I used a homemade button. And we have a homemade button right there. And as I say, they don't add hardly any bulk to your project. And there's a homemade button right there. So my plan is to work at doing all of these. I'm probably going to have to cut some more file folder pieces, but I have tons of little odds and ends of file folders. I have the cream colored file folders as well. But this is going to be a lot of buttons. I tried to do a variety of colors. And yeah, I'm just going to fill up my container. I'll put them all into here. And then I'll have them for whenever I need them. Hope you enjoyed this little project. I hope that you will like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And come on over, visit on my Facebook group and blog, my coffee site, all those fun places. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.